Hello everyone, I'm Grant Flood from Fluster Sports Zone. Welcome back to another YouTube video, and since I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, I wanted to give my opinions on their first day of free agency signings, as between the Jaguars, the Patriots, and the Texans, those three teams have done the most thus far. Now, we're only in day one. Actual free agents don't drop until Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, but there's still some free agents going on now, some last second cuts. We're figuring out who's going to be, a free agent and whatnot. And this will not be my only Jaguar video. I will definitely be doing a lot of Jaguar free agency videos. If they make a huge splash or something, you will definitely be seeing that. But I just want to quickly recap their moves today, kind of give me, give my opinions on it, and let's see what happens. And I'll probably end up the video with one or two other things I would probably hope they do. But anyway, first things first, the Jaguars signed Bears defensive lineman Roy Robertson Harris to a 3-year, $24.4 million deal. Good player, overpayment. Good player, but he is an overpayment. We already have Josh Allen, so we already have a left end. We'll get to the Dwight Smoot re-signing. There's our right end. And then you bring in this guy for $24 million. Yeah, I can't say I am the biggest fan of this contract. Again, not that he's a bad player. It's just, it is an overpayment for a guy who's going to ultimately end up being a backup. Unless they just re-signed Dwight Smoot just to release him. I don't know what the deal is there, unless that's what they're doing. But, last year he only played 8 games. He didn't even register a sack, and he got 7 tackles in 8 games. I knew looking at that contract, I knew something was up, and I just pulled up his stats. 7 tackles in 8 games is not worth $24.4 million at all. And guess what else? This contract's even worse. The main reason why I want to do this is because I knew I was going to get upset. And here's why I'm getting upset. The Jaguars then sign Lions wide receiver and kick returner Jamal Agnew on a 3-year, $21 million deal. Now listen, getting Jamal Agnew, who's, in my opinion, a top 3 punt returner in the league, thumbs up. What's wrong with this? 21 mil for a punt returner when you could have probably just franchise tagged D.D. Westbrook. You hate to see it. Or re-sign Keelan Cole, rather. I think that's what most Jag fans want. I would rather bring back Westbrook than Keelan Cole, but it's looking like they're both probably going to end up leaving. But I like Jamal Agnew. He's a good player. Like I said, I think he's a top 3 punt returner, maybe top 2. But, you're going to pay 21 mil. This isn't Devin Hester, so I wouldn't see why you would want to pay a punt returner that much money. He's a great punt returner, but to maybe get 1 punt return touchdown or 2 a year with 8 receptions, why are you giving someone 21 mil to do that? I would have rather gave Agnew a 3-year deal worth 12 million. Then I wouldn't be complaining. All right, on to another signing. This one I'm not going to complain about. This is actually a modest contract. Get a backup safety from the Eagles. Rudy Ford is going to Duval on a 2-year, $4.2 million deal. I like this signing because, first off, they didn't overpay him. And second off, if this means Jared Wilson's out the door, thank the Lord. Jared Wilson, the slowest free safety in the league. I don't care what anyone says. He is. Daniel Thomas, he may be good, but yes, I would feel more comfortable with Rudy Ford. I wish Jacksonville went after Jalen Mills, the other Eagles safety, who actually ended up going to the Patriots. But at the same time, I'm not going to complain. Now, for Rudy Ford, I'll quickly look up his stats. Rudy Ford, name didn't sound that familiar. And just like Roy Robert Harris, He's only been in the league for 4 years. And again, he only played 8 games. He actually had his rookie year with the Cardinals and spent the last 3 years with the Eagles, or 2 rather, with the Eagles. All right, he's 26. Only played 41 games in his career. He doesn't have a sack. He doesn't have an interception. He doesn't have a QB hit. He only has 35 career tackles. Again, it's not the best player in the world. Jared Wilson is actually better than this guy, but just as long as Rudy Ford has speed, I think I'm fine with it. It's not an awful contract. Again, it's not like they gave him $20 million or nothing. It's a pretty modest 2-year, $4.2 million contract. Add depth. Why not? I'm not gonna complain about that signing. Moving on to the Dewan Smoot re-signing. This is a 2-year, $14 million deal. Now, a lot of people are going to say this is an overpayment. And yeah, if I wanted Dewan Smoot back, I wanted it on a 1-year deal. But I'm not going to really complain. Again, at the 2017 draft class, he actually broke out last year. 5.5 sacks, 21 tackles, stayed healthy for all the 16 games. For 3 of the first 4 years of his career, he's played all 16 games. 2018 was the only year he was injured when he only played 8 games. Dewan Smoot's good. $14 million is a bit steep. I mean, I guess I would rather give him a 2-year, $14 million deal than a 1-year, $7 million deal. But at the same time, though, Dewan Smoot, that's not an awful contract. And if you were to piece out a trade, Smoot could be a good player to throw in a trade. But honestly, if I'm Jacksonville, I'm keeping Dewan Smoot. In fact, I'm placing him as my starting right end next year. Release Aaron Lynch. They should be releasing Aaron Lynch, save some more cap that way. And then obviously, yeah, Josh Allen's going to be fine. And, the defensive tackle's even okay. I mean, Taven Bryan's whatever, but it looks like they're going to attempt to re-sign Avery Jones, which is good. I let Al Woods walk, but there is some players on the D-line that is probably coming back next year, so, that's fine. D-line was fine last year. It was mainly the secondary was my main concern for the defense. Dewan Smoot gets re-signed. We'll see what happens in 2 years. If he still is productive, re-sign him to another short-term contract. If he, struggles, try to throw him in a trade. If you can't throw him in a trade, well, release him. Save some cap. Jaguars get another receiver as well, and I think this is proof that either Keelan Cole or D.D. Westbrook is officially out of Jacksonville after the signing. They signed Seahawks wide receiver Philip Dorsett. Now, look, Philip Dorsett, really, he's never played with anyone. In his time with the Colts, the Patriots, and the Seahawks, he never really played with anyone on this Jaguar team. So, completely different system. But he's going to be this wide receiver 4. Because we're either re-signing D.D. Westbrook or Keelan Cole. Colin Johnson's good, but I don't know if he's good enough to crack a roster, but he's the 5th receiver, I would say, for at least this year. Chris Conley has to go. And we obviously know that DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault are talented enough to be wide receivers 1 and 2. I'm okay with them signing Dorsett as 4th string receiver, because again, whoever they re-sign, Westbrook or Keelan Cole, will be the 3rd man. If anything, Dorsett actually releases Chris Conley, which are very similar players. They're both wicked fast, but at the same time, drop open passes. I think Dorsett's a slim better than Conley, in my opinion, so, I'm cool. If that's what Jacksonville's going for, just replacing Chris Conley with Philip Dorsett, I'm not going to really argue because, you're replacing Chris Conley for pretty much less amount of money, I would assume, so I'm not going to hate on the Philip Dorsett signing either. I know he has speed, and so I respect that. Jaguars signed Chargers safety Rashawn Jenkins to a 4-year deal. Good signing, but we do not know how much. If this is just like the Nicholas Roy Harrison signing, I will be pretty upset, or Robinson rather, I'll be pretty upset. that they're paying this guy over 20 mil just for pretty much being a backup safety. But I'm happy because I've seen nothing but positive stuff out of this guy anyway, and this could end up being a steal depending on how the contract actually works out. Again, just like everyone else here, coming out of the 2017 draft, he was drafted by the Chargers, and he had a pretty productive season last year. He had 2 interceptions. He played 15 games. He has 5 interceptions and a sack and a half and over 174 tackles. I think this guy right here, maybe not Mike Epps, but I think this guy right here, Rashawn Jenkins, he could be the replacement for Jared Wilson. And honestly, please be the replacement for Jared Wilson. Again, I'm the biggest Jared Wilson fan you will ever see here on YouTube. I do not know any other Jaguar YouTuber who is as tough on him as I am. Maybe I'm a bit too harsh, I don't know. But Rashawn Jenkins, please take not Rashad. Oh, by the way, while we're at it, cut Rashad Melvin. Save some more cap too. But I would rather have Jenkins than Jared Wilson. So we'll see what happens. But good signing, quick player. He's 27. You locked him up till he's 31. Good signing. And then the last contract, unless I gotta refresh my page. Jaguars bring back Carlos Hyde to a 2-year, $6 million deal. Yes, bring back some 2018 nostalgia. Why don't we? Carlos Hyde's all right. It's clear James Robinson is the backup. I've said a lot of stupid stuff this video. My apologies, guys. James Robinson clearly the starter after having probably, in my opinion, he was the best rookie running back. You could say Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, whatever. You make good arguments, but in my opinion, James Robinson was the best rookie running back last year. Mainly because he went undrafted and set the record for scrimmage yards by an undrafted rookie. But Carlos Hyde's a good backup. I mean, Chris Thompson, we could probably save some money if we release him. Raquel Armstead's okay. And same thing with Darbo. I'm definitely mispronouncing that name. Hyde's the best out of all those guys, but Robinson's still going to be the starter. I ain't mad about this. It's 2 years for $6 million. I mean, I would rather see Carlos Hyde come back than TJ Yeldon. So, all right. I ain't going to really hate on the Carlos Hyde signing. I wish I kind of didn't do it, but I'm not going to fully sit here and be like, oh, that's a bad signing. No, he's going to be the backup running back. He's a veteran. Let's see what he'll do after playing with the Texans and the Seahawks. All right. Oh, and just a little news before wrapping up this video. The Saints re-signed Jameis Winston to a 1-year, $12 million deal. Cool. The more you know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Grant Fluff from Fletcher Sports Zone saying enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back, more Jaguar free agency stuff as the offseason goes along. And I'll be recapping the other team's free agency news every Sunday at 1 o'clock. Fletcher Sports Zone, Season 1, Episode 2 coming out. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which, I mean, I'll be doing Power Skate Show on Wednesday, but my next video on this account will probably be Thursday, where I do a play-by-play for a hockey game. So we'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your evening.